If only Israel were to offer an independent state to the Palestinians, there would be peace in the Middle East. That's what you hear from protesters in the street, from professors in universities, and from United Nations ambassadors. But what if I told you the Arabs were already offered an independent state 6 times? Don't believe me? Let's check the record. In 1936, the Arabs rebelled against British rule. The British decided to study the problem and realized that 2 groups wanted to control the same territory, the Arabs and the Jews. They offered the Arabs 80% of the land and the Jews 20%. The Jews accepted the offer, the Arabs rejected it. Rejection number 1. In 1947, the British appealed to the United Nations to study the same problem. They came up with the same solution. There should be a 2-state solution, one for the Arabs, one for the Jews. They offered the Jews an even smaller piece of land. The Jews accepted it, and the Arabs rejected it. Rejection number 2. In 1947, when the Jews accepted the United Nations plan, they were attacked by 5 Arab countries: Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and Egypt. Miraculously, Israel somehow survived and got on to building a new nation. In 1967, Israel was attacked yet again, this time by Lebanon, Syria, and Egypt. But this time, Israel had a stunning victory and ended up controlling new land in the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip. Part of the Israeli community wanted to split the land and offer it to Jordan and Egypt in exchange for peace. And another part of the Israeli community wanted to offer the land to the local population, which had begun calling themselves the Palestinians. But in 1967, the Arab League met in Sudan and issued their famous proclamation: no negotiations with Israel, no recognition of Israel, and no peace with Israel. And another opportunity was lost for a 2-state solution. Rejection number 3. In 1993, the Arabs and Jews met in Oslo, Norway to sign what are known as the Oslo Peace Accords. Yitzhak Rabin and Yasser Arafat shook hands for the first time, and the beginning of a 2-state solution seemed imminent. But all negotiations broke down as soon as Hamas started launching attacks at Israeli civilians, blowing up buses in the middle of Tel Aviv. Rejection number 4. In the year 2000, Ehud Barak and Yasser Arafat sat down once again. The negotiations were overseen by Bill Clinton. The Israelis offered the Palestinians their own country, 94% of the West Bank, all of the Gaza Strip, and a capital in East Jerusalem. Yasser Arafat walked away from the negotiation table, saying no to everything. Rejection number 5. In 2005, as a show of good faith, the Israeli government completely left the Gaza Strip. They pulled Jews out of their homes, dismantled Jewish towns, and allowed the local population to have elections. And in 2006, a shock to the world, the local population decided to elect the terrorist group Hamas to run the Gaza Strip. In 2008, despite Hamas taking control of the Gaza Strip, Israel offered an independent state to the Palestinians. Ehud Olmert and Mahmoud Abbas met, and Israel offered 94% of the West Bank, all of the Gaza Strip, a capital in East Jerusalem, and more land in proper Israel and the right of return of 150,000 Arabs into the state of Israel. The Palestinians completely rejected the offer and walked away from the negotiation table. Rejection number 6. 6 different times the Arabs were offered an independent state, and 6 times they rejected all offers. Today, Israel is dealing with an incredibly difficult situation. Hamas is a terrorist organization completely dedicated to the annihilation and destruction of the state of Israel and killing as many Jews as possible. They are not a peace partner. When somebody says to you, "Free Palestine," your response should be, "Free Palestine from Hamas."